fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today to share with you, as you can see, the finish of my oldest diamond painting kit. This was one of the first kits that I purchased. I actually purchased it back on Black Friday of 2021, and it's finally done, you guys. This kit is 50 by 170, and I'm so glad to be done with it. Not because it was a horrible kit. I thoroughly enjoyed my time working on it, but just too many big projects in a row for me. But this one is now done, and now I get to share it with you. So I started here at the bottom and started working my way up. Now, I did add in several enhancements to this. You can see some of it, I think, right here in the green. I have some Diamond Dotz ABs that I had purchased eons ago. And so I substituted this green in some of the grass. Now, it already came with one AB. A lot of the white, especially what you can see here in the jar, let me move it a little bit closer, is an AB that came with the kit. So AB 5200s that were included in the kit. I did also add a couple of crystals, so which you can see right here in the jar. I added this rhinestone, and then once we get up towards the top, I'll show you the other one. So for this particular rhinestone, I actually added so many that I ran out. So yeah, don't throw your extra drills away, because you can always use them for fun things. And I really think it just adds a little bit of extra whimsy to it. So let me keep sliding this here. You can see the little dragonling with his little star jar here, putting the fireflies in. This section with the dragon actually went fairly quickly. Unlike my Muka, they both turned out amazing, but this one is a little bit different in that different diamond painting company. This one, of course, is a Diamond Art Club, and it had quite a bit more multi-placing in it. So actually ended up making it go a little faster than I had anticipated it would. After spending quite a bit of time working on all of this, I was expecting that it was going to rival my Diana in amount of time spent, and it did not. For my Muka, which if you haven't seen the finish of that, I will stick a little link up there in the corner so you can go check it out. The Muka took me right around 75 hours. This one took me 83 hours and 12 minutes. And again, quite a bit of multi-placing. My Diana, just for comparison, took 180 hours. So even though at times it felt like this one was taking forever, it really didn't. So you can see here again some more of the crystal ABs that I added in. And of course, all of the kind of white where the fireworks are the ABs that came with the kit. But then I added in some crystals in here that you can see, and those kind of get thrown in all around and in the fireworks. So I've got these blue crystals that I used, kind of turquoise color that I used as well. And then if I get it even closer, because you guys, this is so long, it's now on the floor, these little yellow kind of highlights, I used these kind of bright orange crystals and put those in there. And then all the way through, you can see there's some more of those blue crystals here. You know, all the way through, all the way up to the very top. You can see though, right here in this section where there's kind of that transition, I used a bunch of these Diamond Dots. This jar was almost full when I started. So This is all I have left, and they all went in here. So you can see in this section here where that transition is, I kind of tried to put them in fairly heavily. And then as it went through, this color also got used in all of kind of these white outlines on the as accents. So this crystal AB or AB, and then this crystal and another blue one got used for accents. So you can see like right here, I replaced the blue on the outside with a crystal. Over here, it's got crystals in the middle. If I get the big dragon closer, you can see up here, it's got crystals. Let me tilt this down just a little bit. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. It's got crystals. Ooh, let me zoom in as well. Maybe that will help. So I've got, you know, crystals here, some crystals in his eye, all of kind of the middle of the fireworks. I added that extra little bit of bling. All of the yellows, oranges I replaced here with those crystals just to give it that little extra. And I really think it added a lot to it. It was already a very cute diamond painting, but I think, you know, adding that to it just gave it that little extra something. So let me zoom back out here so you can see a little bit more. And I will insert some footage. I made my husband hold it up. My husband is not that much taller than I am. I made my husband hold it up so you can see kind of how big this painting is. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see some close-ups of all the different crystals that I'm talking about, the crystals in the ABs. So, you know, don't be afraid to experiment with some of these and just add in things that you think are going to add something to the painting. If you don't like it, you can always take it off. But you've got nothing to lose. And I mean, I have tons of drills sitting around, especially those diamond dots, which I went out and tried to find DMC conversions. Some I could find, some I couldn't because they use their own system. So I just kind of eyeballed it. The blue that I used from Diamond Dots actually had a conversion, and I used it with that DMC number in the kit. Some of the crystals, the DMCs I either didn't have or they weren't exactly the DMC number of the kit, but I thought they would look good anyway, so I went ahead and used them. Or I just picked them by eyeball and thought, you know, I'm going to put these in, like the ones that I did for the yellow, where I put up at the top all of the yellow kind of little starlight. Those I just thought, okay, well here, it was actually supposed to be one of the browns that's in the dragons. It's kind of a really light tan color. And I just thought, you know, I want it to give it a little more bling than that. These are supposed to be fireworks. It's supposed to be the night sky. I want it to be a little more sparkly. And so I did, and I think it turned out great. So yeah, super happy with the way it turned out. Again, huge. So it took me, I told you, 83 hours and 12 minutes to finish. I started it on June 4th, although there was some time in there where I didn't really work on it because I was working on the Muka. But I finished it on the 14th. And like I said, I think it turned out really well. It actually ended up taking less time than I thought. 45 colors, and I substituted in, I think, it came with one AB, and I substituted in 2 additional ABs and 3 crystals. So yeah, again, I'm just really super happy with how it turned out. I think, again, the little dragon is so cute. I love Randall Spangler. And yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to frame this one. I mean, I probably will eventually. I don't know if I'm going to frame it right away. This is another one like the Muka where it is so tall and skinny. It's kind of a weird size. And so trying to find a frame for it, as well as, you know, a piece of glass or acrylic that will fit in the front of it, because I don't typically seal my diamond paintings, especially if I'm going to frame them behind something. That's going to help keep out the dust and debris. Someone has recommended that I go to a glassworks place. and have them, you know, cut a piece of glass for me, and I'm considering that. However, my concern is because both of these paintings are kind of big, especially this one, I'm concerned that the glass itself is just going to be too heavy. And so, having had a couple of really heavy pieces in my life previously, I just don't know if that's a road that I want to go down. So I'm still considering options. I could seal it, and then I wouldn't need to worry about putting a piece of glass in front of it. I'm just not sure yet. That maybe that'll be something I tackle for a later, you know, how to seal a big diamond painting. That would certainly let me get a frame for it. Frames are much less expensive than um, getting a piece of glass or acrylic to go in front of it. However, if I seal it, you know, I just feel like people in my house are clumsy. We run into walls, people bang furniture into things. I live in fear that somebody's going to knock something off of it, which they shouldn't if it's sealed, but I just never know. And also for right now, because we're hopefully moving in the not too distant future, I don't know if I want to get a piece this big that is in a frame that I then have to move. It would be much easier to transport if I was just rolling it up versus getting it framed. So just things for me to consider that maybe, you know, are just specific to me personally that maybe the rest of you wouldn't have to do. But again, I love how this turned out. I, again, have been a fan of Randall Spangler's work for a really long time, and I love how this turned out. I'm actually really excited now to pull out some of my other dragling paintings and work on them because they're much smaller. And as quickly as this one went, even considering the size, I could have several of them done and have those out of my stash, which would be amazing. So, yeah, you guys, I just, this one has just been such kind of I don't want to say it was an albatross around my neck, but it was just really weighing on me heavily because it was so large and I wanted to get it done. And I've got, you know, the 30 by 30 challenge coming up. I've got drills and chills coming up. I've got my DP for vets that I'm hosting coming up. And, you know, as the end of the year quickly approaches, we may have other things in our lives going on as well. And so I really just wanted to get this one done and kind of get it off of my plate and completed before I started my September challenge, and also, you know, by the end of this month. So plus it's a big painting and I get to count all those hours towards my hourly goal, which is amazing. So here he is again with his little star jar and the dragon up in the sky. And yeah, I'm just, again, am super stoked about the way he turned out. That's it for my post-completion review, guys. I will put in the description down below the DMC codes and ABs that I substituted so that you guys can see what those are. I don't have numbers for all of them. So like the orange ones, I can't give you the number on that. I just eyeballed that one. But I think the two other crystals that I used and the two diamond dots that I used, I can give you at the very least the diamond dots codes for those so you can see if you'd be interested in using them in your projects. I will say for something to keep in mind when you're using enhancements like this is that ABs tend to be just a smidge taller than your other drills, and the diamond dots tend to be just a smidge again taller. So when I finish a section, I always go over it with a rolling pin just to make sure that I've gotten my drills, you know, really well seated and everything is kind of popped into place so that I know when I run my hand over it, I'm not going to catch anything and pull any drills off. And because of the crystals and the ABs, sometimes that was a little bit tricky, especially in sections like way up there in the blue where there were a lot of the diamond dots drills because they were just a little bit taller than the regular drills. And so I just kind of had to make sure that I went over it really well to make sure that everything was really well seated. It's not a problem. It's just something to be aware of when you're adding those enhancements in. So yeah, there you go, guys. My Firefly Fireworks from Diamond Art Club, artwork by Randall Spangler, and so excited to have it done. I will put a link in the description below to the kit itself so that you can check it out. I don't think it's one that's being discontinued yet, but you never know. So just keep an eye out if it's not in stock right now. Before you leave, guys, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.